right, ladies and gentlemen, so today we're going to start and take more of a look at our linear equations. And we're going to start with talking about something called slope. Slope is given the little letter m, okay? Not sure why m is picked, but it is. And its definition is that it's the rate of change between 2 points. So we did, right, when we looked at unit rates and we were looking at tables and how are they going up, that's really kind of what we're talking about here. So there are, right here is our formula for constant, right? Our constant of proportionality was y over x. So our slope, and I want you to either box this or highlight it or star it, but it's the change in y over the change in x. It's also called the rise over run. We have 4 different kinds of slope. We have positive slope, which is when it's going up. Negative slope is going down. Slope of 0 is a horizontal line. And undefined is a vertical line. Oh, it said it right there. I guess I should have looked, right? All right, so let's see what we got going on here. Oh, Lord. Sorry. There we go. Okay, describe the slope of the non-vertical lines below. So this one, right, if I'm looking here, this is positive. If I'm looking at this one, it's negative. All right, let's try the next page. Those are pretty easy, right? I like that. All right, number 2, which graph is steeper, right? So steeper means that we're looking at the one that's getting closer to straight up and down. So if I have graph A and graph B, so here's graph A. I'm going to just go over it because it's a little bit light. So there's graph A and there's graph B. So for those of you that do any type of skiing or do any type of snowboarding or anything like that, right? The steeper the hill, or if you're on an amusement ride, the steeper the hill, then usually the faster that you're going down. But we'll talk about that. So steeper one is graph A. Write directions that explain how to move from one point on the graph to the other for both graphs A and B. So if we're looking, right, we had, even though I went over it, we had a point here, and I believe we had the point here. So if I want to go from this point to this point, I have to go, right, I'm going up, so I have to go up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So we're going up 6, and we're going to the right 1. All right, if I'm doing it for this graph, for B, right, I have this point and this point. So again, I'm going up. So I'm going up 1, 2, 3. And I'm going over 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I'm going to actually say right instead of over. All right, not so bad. Write the directions from part B as ratios. Well, our ratios have to be up and over. So for graph A, that's going to be 6 over 1. For graph B, that's going to be 3 over 6. And if you look, right, if I'm going to even reduce that one to 1/2. So how does this relate to which graph was steeper? So the steeper one has a larger ratio. So steeper line has bigger ratio. That's what that means. All right, let's try another one. Okay, which graph is steeper? All right, so here we have one. Write directions that explain, so doing the same type of thing. So when I'm looking at these, you know what, it's kind of hard to say, I have to admit. So I'm going to do my counting first, and I'm going to work backwards. So if I'm going from here to here, that means I have to go up 1, 2, 3, 4. And I'm going right 1, 2, 3, 4. For graph B, I'm going up 1, 2, 3. And I'm going right 1, 2, 3. If I write those as ratios, this is 4 over 4, which is the same as 1. Graph B is 3 over 3, which is the same as 1. So which graph is steeper? They're equal. How do I know that? Because they have the same ratios, right? Same ratios. That ratio is called slope, and we'll get to that as well. All right, let's try another one. Which of the slope, what is the slope of each? So this time we're going down, and I'm going to do my counting, right? So I'm going down 1, which is negative, and then to the right 1. So the slope, down 1 over 1. Okay. Graph of slope B. Now I'm going up 2, and I'm going over to the right 3. So those are positives. Which of the lines is steeper? Graph A. So even though it's a negative 1, so if you're looking we have to look at the absolute value. The 1 is bigger than 2/3, right? So compare the slopes. Graph A, negative 1 is steeper than 2/3. Okay, let's try these next ones here. So now we're going to do the same thing. We're going to find the slope of each of the lines below. Okay, so we're going down, and I'm going to find 2 points that I can kind of look at. So I'm going to go from here to here. I'm going down 1, 2, 3, negative 3, and I'm going to the right 1. That's your slope, M equals. Over here, I'm not going up or down. I'm just going straight over, which is when we have 0. Here, I'm just going up, but I can't do, right? I'm going up 1, let's say, but I'm going over 0, and you can't have that. You cannot divide by 0. So that's undefined. Undefined. Beautiful. And I think we have one more page. Oh, I think we're going to save this one. Let's save this one to do together in class. Yep. All right. So any questions, bring them with you to class. Otherwise, have a good night.